that stretches for 3 miles. Ramsgate suffered considerable damage at the hands of the Germans, as did Dover. But why were there so few civilian casualties there? The Second World War shattered the tranquility of the seaside town of Ramsgate. Its harbour and proximity to the Battle of Britain pilots at Manston Airfield brought it within the line of fire. On the 24th of August 1940, Ramsgate was the first town in Kent to experience a heavy bombing raid. Bob Pryor's father, an auxiliary fireman in Ramsgate, experienced the full force of the German onslaught.
They were called out from the main fire station in Effingham Street and attended the gasworks, which by this time was almost a sheet of flame. The gas holders were shooting spouts of flame into the air. They were getting hotter and hotter, and there was a danger of explosion. They immediately set to try and cool down the gas holders. And of course, while they were doing this, the German aircraft were machine gunning the firemen, doing their jobs. A good friend of my father's was actually killed on a ladder very close to him.
With over 1,200 properties destroyed or damaged, how was it that only 31 people were killed? The answer lies some 60 feet beneath Ramsgate. In March 1939, Ramsgate's authorities developed existing tunnels to create the most extensive purpose-built underground air raid shelters in Great Britain. Now closed because of safety concerns, our camera team were given special permission to film. The tunnels had a capacity for 60,000 people. They became a haven for the likes of Thomas Brown, who was 4 years old when war broke out.
We lived in Dane Road and we'd run for the tunnels, and the gasworks was hit, and I can remember vividly hanging onto a tree, screaming my head off, and my mother dragging me, trying to take me down the tunnel that was in the recreation ground at the bottom of Boundary Road. Mum used to have a bag packed by the door as you came out, and it contained the insurance policies of the house and the valuable bits that she wanted to take with her. So when the air raid siren went, she grabbed me and grabbed the bag, and away we went down the tunnels.
This underground world was far more than just a temporary shelter.
When the tunnels were in operation, there would have been bunks either side. All the way down here, a two-tier bunk, one at about 2 feet off the ground and another one obviously higher.
Bill Hayton's wife Frances, who was 7 when war broke out, made sure the tunnels felt like home.
Mother used to bring her pet budgie car, Joey, down, and my wife used to bring her dolls and certainly school books.
The tunnels had a generator and a loudspeaker system. Every effort was made to turn them into a town below the ground.
There were signposts showing in which direction you were going, because as you can imagine down here, you've no concept of direction. You've no idea where you are. So there were signposts saying towards Arklow Square or to the High Street. On the surface, every signpost had been removed, not in the tunnel. Still clearly visible and signposted.
Patrols by the fire brigade helped ensure the safety of the people below. This was an underground world in which the traumas of war could be forgotten.
During the course of patrolling the tunnel, my father came across a party that was in full swing, and apparently involved in this were a number of musicians, piano, accordion, drums. There was an awful lot of riotous singing, dancing.
He had held her 8th birthday, and it coincided with another young man's 11th birthday. So all the parents put something into the celebration with their meagre rations. After tea, the children all dressed up in fancy dress. My wife was dressed up as a nurse. Her elder sister was a cowboy, and they all did a turn, and obviously they danced, they sang, and they told a few jokes and entertained all the families that were congregated down here in the air raid.
The tunnels are credited with saving hundreds of lives. They provided an underground haven for the civilians of Ramsgate who bravely faced the horrors of war.
As a youngster, you didn't have fear. It was part of life. know, you didn't have stress counselling or anything like that in those days. You just got up in the morning. If your house was there, you was okay. If it wasn't, it wasn't. And you went to school, and that was the end of it.
War is always dangerous for